Welcome back, everyone. It's a difficult time for much of the world, both at home and abroad. And with so many news headlines detailing global unrest, terror, and aggression comes some pretty horrific images. As adults, the images flashed at us from the television screen and on social media can be disturbing. But imagine viewing those scenes of devastation from the eyes of a child. As parents, it's one of the toughest calls we have to make. How to explain what's happening in the world without scaring our children. So joining us with some tips and perspective, we welcome licensed psychologist Dr. Roxanne Louh to the show.
Hello.
Welcome. This is a difficult conversation. It's hard to, shield your kids from everything happening around the world, but because of technology and how available it is, they're going to see it at some point. So, I mean, should parents be limiting how much their children are seeing and how much, I guess, access they have to the internet?
I mean, I do think it depends on the age of the child and the type of news being reported. A lot of the breaking news coverage is hard to hear, and it will make us feel almost like the danger is closer to home or more prevalent than it is, and so it can be scary. And I do think it also depends on how sensitive the temperament of your child is, right? So graphic images like those can stick in a child with anxiety for a long time to come.
Is there such thing as keeping your kids away, completely away from the bad news of the world?
I think that's so hard. I think it's so hard. Under the age of 7, the recommendation is to shield them away from the news because they don't have the capacity to understand, gee, how far is Syria from here? They don't know the difference between fact and fiction. They don't really know that if I see a child on the playground who just experienced chemical warfare, can that happen to me when I'm on the playground? They don't know the difference, so they don't have a context, and they don't understand that these things are unlikely to occur here. So that is the recommendation, but how do you do that? It's
so
tough.
The 1 year age difference between 7 and 8, that 8-year-old brain can kind of wrap around and understand? Is that what they're saying?
8 to 9 is when they say they can begin to understand sort of age-appropriate truths around the context. Like, they're having a civil war, so let's explain that versus, graphic details on the tragedy. Let's help them explain the differences between how that country is run versus how our country is run. So there, and we can show them, where's Syria on the map? We can sort of move into sort of helping them become aware of what exists outside the four corners of our country.
How does kids' perception come into play, though? Because I'm thinking like a child watching a child on television who, is gasping for air or foaming at the mouth, as opposed to a child watching an adult do that. Is that perception like just, intensified that much more because they're watching a child?
I mean, I think it's scary. I think violence, no matter what the age, is tough. I mean, I'm sure seeing a child, just like for adults, I think it's hard when we see a child, even more so than when we see an adult. There's almost a visceral, physical reaction. But I do think it's incredibly scary for them. And it's those images that are lasting. That's what they end up having nightmares over. So it's seeing that's really tough. And it's, again, the context is important to sort of explain, because that's where we can say, well, gee, they're living in a war-torn country. So this is the, innocent slaughtering of humans that are, unfortunately the collateral damage of a war. And so helping them understand we don't have that civil unrest here. So these things are unlikely to happen to you because, of course, it's sad, and they should express the sad. We just don't want them to become afraid that this is going to happen.
The difference of sensitivity and temperaments in kids. So why is it important for us to consider our reaction to the news when there are kids around?
Yeah, that's, children live in our unconscious. That's sort of like the big thing. They feel what we feel. Their inner voice becomes the things that we say out loud. And so when we watch the news and we're in horror, and they see our face change, and they see the reaction and the fear,
they think they have to react because their parents react.
Oh no, there's someone in the airport who looks kind of, oh gee, we don't want to sit by him. That's what they're paying attention to, and they live in that. So I think when we're watching that breaking news coverage, we have to be really mindful that what we're saying, what we're thinking, what we're feeling, what we're expressing is what we want our child.
Right.
They look to us for how to handle those situations.
So what do you recommend as far as handling it with a younger child under 7 who might have seen something, and with an older one who you said might be able to understand it a little better?
So, recommendations with the kids under 7, again, it's reassurance. That's unlikely to happen here. This is a war-torn country. We're not living in that. And really shifting to the safety infrastructure we have. We've got police, we've got military. We're blessed to live in this country that protects us. So you're okay. Reassurance is the #1 thing for kids under 7. And then distraction. Like, let's watch a funny movie now and cuddle up on the couch. Just that togetherness helps kids feel safe. And then in terms of the older kids, we're really looking to sort of give the explanations, and we want you to have age-appropriate truths. We want you to know that there is civil unrest that exists, there is war, there is innocent lives that are being lost, and because that's how people become moral citizens. You know, they grow up to have compassion and caring, and they're aware of things in the world. So we want them to know that, but again, it's the basic facts, not the tragic, graphic details.
You also mentioned to not assume that you know how your child feels, that you should ask them, and I think that's very, very important.
I agree.
Yes, yes, that's really important. You know, I think it's easy to assume what our kids, you know, well, you heard that, you must be scared. Well, not necessarily, or you must be angry. No, not necessarily. They're picking up on your anger. They're just sad or worried, you know, and we need to ask them. Let them ask the questions and make them feel really safe in wanting to ask those questions. We don't want to have big reactions, but just listen, validate, get them to ask more, make them know it's okay to keep asking questions about this. I'm not afraid to talk about it.
Well, you actually had kind of a way of actually having to implement what you're teaching us now, was that you have family in Syria, and so you kind of had to have this conversation with your kids. What was that like for you as a professional and as a mom?
Yes, that is so hard. I had my son, I have a 9-year-old, and he was asking me, well, Mama, are my cousins okay? And he sees them on Skype, and his cousins are afraid. They are afraid to go outside their home.
That's awful.
Yeah, because the street right adjacent to them was bombed, and there was a family that was killed. And they're in the capital city of Damascus, which is supposed to be the safest area. And so it was really hard to explain, but I had to explain that not every country gets to choose their government. Not every country gets to re-elect after 4 years. You know, in this country has been dealing with strife for 6 years now. But this is where we want to have gratitude, right? For the fact that we live in a democratic country and we have freedom of religion. We can decide what we want to go to church. You know, they're afraid to go to church on Sunday. They're incredibly afraid. We just had Palm Sunday this last weekend, and they were afraid to go to church. So it was tough to explain.
Of course.
Yeah, tough to explain.
But I think it's important to kind of teach your children that look for these silver linings, look for the things that we can be grateful for, even though we can feel sympathy for family or for friends or even strangers living over in war-torn countries.
Absolutely.
That's great. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Louh, for
sharing
all of this.
Thank you so much for
very
having
important,
me.
very good information. All right, well, coming up next, who says a shrimp can't be cute? We show off some of the new Jumbo Shrimp Team apparel that you can purchase to show your own support.